All right, hey, my name is Will McMurray. I'm here to give a speech on why you should not live in a dorm if given the chance your freshman year. So I'm going to show my audience to the crowd. There they are. Okay. So you've probably heard a lot of mixed things about living in a dorm and the pros and cons. So the pros that I would talk about, and I lived in the Hill on my freshman year here. The pros that I would talk about is that you don't really see a lot of bills having to be paid since it's included in your tuition, which is nice because you can use part of a scholarship to pay for it. Also, there are pros of a good location. If you live in the Quad, you're right next to the Haley Center. You can sleep in a little bit more. If you're in the Village, you have an apartment-style dorm, and they're a good. It's a good to have a good location, especially on game days and stuff like that. And also, it's a good opportunity to meet a lot of people. I know a lot of people who've lived in dorms, and they made a ton of new friends. I did not. I didn't meet up many people within my dorm, but some people do, and if that's good for you, then it's good for you. But now the cons that I would like to spend more time on. Number one, loud suite mates. There are too many loud people in the dorms. When you're trying to study or sleep or just kind of be at peace, there are people down the hall yelling about stuff, and you can't really focus on what you're trying to do. Another thing that I'll talk about is people hanging out in the lobby. When I was in the dorm, there were a ton of people always hanging out in the lobby and making a lot of noise in the common areas where you really just couldn't, I just always kind of felt on edge, and I just didn't really, feel like I could be at home. There's this rumor that apartments are so expensive, but in actuality, they're not that much more expensive living in a dorm. And in a dorm, you have a tiny little cracker box that you have to share with another person. But in an apartment, you can at least have your own room where you can, where you can have a door that you can shut and be able to, just kind of digress at the end of the day or study and do homework. So I'd say that's definitely a con to the dorm, is that you are still paying a good bit of money, but you have to share the room with another person. And a lot of times you might not get along with that person. And also, this was one of the worst things, is during the wintertime, they decided to turn the heat to like 90 degrees, and you are trapped in the room, and there's nothing you can do. Even if it gets warm outside, they keep on blasting the heat. So you're really just in a terrible situation. So that is the end of my speech. So I would totally recommend living off campus so that you can have a great freshman year. Now, show my audience is still here.